to Varindia for having me. Well, I think there's been sort of a sad sentiment hanging around. So I thought maybe I'll begin with something positive. Of course, today all the economic papers have indicated that the inflation is down. We're down to 8.98%, lowest in the last 4 odd months since August. And I think that gives a lot of hope. Why I say so is, one, because I come from the hardware industry. The exposure of the hardware industry is very limited to the external markets, only to the extent that we import. So we're somewhat under pressure from the rupee-dollar parity. But from a market perspective, for the last few days, I've been speaking to almost all the constituents in the hardware sector. We have concerns, but I don't think so there is a gloom per se. For one, the quarter of September has been an exceptionally good quarter for almost everybody. I've been speaking to our friends in HP, in Intel, be it IBM, be it Lenovo. Everybody says September has been a wonderful quarter. And September quarter is always good because there's a lot of enterprise sales that happen. And in October, we had the Diwali, so a lot of people who are focused on the consumer markets, all of us are. The home market is typically 30%. So everybody is pretty happy that Diwali also saw us through in good stead. Coming forth, again, we all know that in our industry we have two peaky quarters, the JFM quarter and, of course, the July, August, September quarter. And the O&D quarter is normally slow. So I don't know at this point in time whether what we're seeing somewhat slow growth because a lot of sales have been sucked up in the earlier quarter. So is this really the normal trend that we always have as part of a business cycle, or is it a reflection of the slowdown that has been so much talked about? But the moot point is we are very focused on the domestic market. All consumption in the domestic market is a reflection of what the GDP is, what the normal growth in the economy is, and all predictions say that we are doing okay. Maybe from 9%, the PM says we'll be doing 7 or 7.5%, or maybe at the other extreme, you have the IMF saying that we'll be doing about 5.7 odd %. But still, they are good numbers. They're not bad numbers, anyways. A lot of talk, people kind of use the word recessionary rather loosely. The word recession technically comes when you have 2 quarters of negative growth. We don't, anywhere, India is nowhere near those. Our economic fundamentals are really very, very sound. As Mr. Pani said, the domestic market is absolutely unexplored. Our PC penetration is, 2.5%. So I think it's a huge area to be yet covered, and there's a lot of hope there. Yes, we're facing we're facing problems in terms of availability of credit. I think what's very interesting is that with the lowering of inflation, first of all, the RBI already cut down the CRR and the repo rates. It's already done. Now with the inflation under control, I think we are actually pushing, or we've been asking, and it's probably imminent, that there'll be another cut in the CRR or the repo rates, which will be infusing a lot of liquidity into the market. I think that's something good. Of course, it's not that unlike the US banks, our banks have a problem. Our banks are actually sitting on cash. They are not giving out cash because they are sort of de-risking. They're being more cautious. In terms of general market scenario of the markets that we sell, of course, yes, markets that are more external oriented are under pressure. So say markets like the software market is under pressure. ITES would be under pressure, maybe gems, jewelries. These markets who are consumers for us textiles, and especially the SMEs are under pressure. And of course, as I said, probably from the SME point of view, if the credit liquidity is made available, I think they will come around. I'm pretty confident that will happen. The verticals that I think will still sustain us would be verticals like, say, the telecom. Mr. Pani mentioned the education, the knowledge network that he's been talking about. The home market, I've been speaking to a whole lot of guys. The home market is pretty robust. There is no sign of any decline in the home market. As I said, 30% market is a huge chunk. PSU's government pretty well. As I said, the banking sector, not the financial sector. The banks are pretty healthy in India, great NPA ratios, no challenges at our front on the banking side. The banks will consume. These are some of the offhand sectors that came to my mind I thought I must mention to you. And of course, what Secretary Heavy Industry mentioned, we're still far away in terms of our infrastructure. A lot of infrastructure investments will keep on continuing, be it power, be it roads. So I think it's not pretty bad. I think I'm unable to gauge at this point in time whether it's really very, very bad, because the JFM quarter is again expected to be a good quarter because there's going to be a lot of government buying. And last 2-3 days, I was with Mr. Chandrasekhar. I met the additional secretary at Department of Administrative Reforms. They all are pretty confident that the spend will happen. That there's no reason to panic, actually. So with these few words, I thank you all for having me, and we look forward to a better